And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth. Sit around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, legal advice, so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, we want you to save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372.
Here's my number, so call me maybe.
And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder, if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's number one consumer advocate program here. And we're going to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. Let's go around the horn and make our introductions. Back in studio, Snoop Dogg, Jay Smith in the house. Welcome back.
Made it through the hurricane. We're back again.
Woo, back in black, back in studio.
Glad to be here.
Good stuff, man. So you're going to be busy.
Yep, I just got power back, so it's always a good thing.
Any kind of re-inspections you need, you got to get your properties inspected, re-inspected, roof inspections, all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk with Jay Smith about that, owner of A Snoop Inspection, longtime friend of the program. Brad Blanton in the house as well, representing Suncoast Roofing. He's a project manager and a roofing expert out here in Tampa Bay. Welcome in.
Hey, thanks, Brandon. Glad to be here. Look forward to sharing some information and hearing some other things as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys are going to be slammed too. Hurricane, Irma ripping through the state from Marco Island, which is the far, southwest corner, all the way up to Jacksonville, the far northwest corner. I mean, 500-mile storm, 400-mile storm. So we're going to get some updates from Brad as well in the show. Also, Mario Larrea, local expert mortgage expert here, Home First Lending. Welcome back in, sir.
Hey, Brandon. Glad to be here. It looks like just glad we dodged a bullet again in Tampa. We seem to just always luck out. So was thinking this time we weren't going to make it through, but
that's right.
Glad everything worked out.
We dodged a cannon, like those cannons they have at Raymond James Stadium, man. Those big cannons going off. We dodged it this time, and our prayers go out to those that got hit harder.
Well, we could just went over and piled in the pirate ship and just chilled out for a little bit.
Yeah, it hit my hometown pretty hard too, man. It hit LaBelle. I went down there, ran a generator down home last week, and a lot of the eastern folks got hit harder. It seems like we were expecting this to be a coastal hit, but a lot of it was out east. So we're going to talk about things happening, with the follow-up efforts with Hurricane Irma, ways that you can get involved, ways that you can reach out to FEMA. If you had any types of expenses, you can reach out for reimbursement. And I think Brad probably have some information about some of that as well.
Oh, yeah.
And as far as the mortgage side, Mario's going to let you know if you're in the middle of a mortgage process, a transaction, what you need to do there as well. And let's go ahead and give a shout out to Hula Bay, one of our restaurant partners in beautiful South Tampa. Waterfront ambiance, excellent food, wide variety on the menu down at Hula Bay, 5210 Tyson Avenue, beautiful South Tampa restaurant. Go say hello to the management staff, and they're always going to take care of you. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. You're going to get that special water with lemon that we talk about on the show. So Hula Bay, tuna. The sushi shipped in, tuna fresh from Hawaii every 2 days down at Hula Bay. So we really appreciate our restaurant partner there. All right, we're here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. We're going to call that audible. Sometimes you got to call that audible in life. And we're going to talk about the GOSPA model. Brian Tracy talks about the GOSPA model, GOSPA. So goals, objectives, strategies, priorities, and actions. Quickly, we're going to go through those. So slow thinking, you want to develop the habit of slow thinking, long-term thinking, and being more right with less wrong. Think about what you can do on the right side of the coin. Goals, specific, measurable, time-mounted results that you are actively achieving. Objectives, what are your interim goals? Think about it as the rungs on the ladder. As you go to the top of that ladder, that's your ultimate, your big goal that you want to reach. Each step going up is going to be those objectives that you're going to hit as an interim goal. Strategies, they're going to vary on application. They're going to vary between potentially seasonal, applications, internet strategies, marketing strategies. Priorities, these are activities that are more important than others to accomplish. And just remember, you want to apply the 80-20 rule to everything. Think about what are the 20% of the key tasks that you do on a daily basis that are going to move you closer to prosperity, closer to success. And that's the gospel model: goals, objectives, strategies, priorities, and actions. That's going to help you win in any marketplace. Let's go ahead and jump right into this content. Snoop Dogg's in the house. Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection. What are you seeing out there, man?
Well, things are slowly getting back to normal. We got a long way to go. Of course, to be honest with you, doing regular home inspections, we're not overly busy right now because we're not back to normal. No one's out looking for a house today.
Right.
So this is the time. If you've got something on your home, you've got some damage, you're not sure if there's something more serious or not, and the insurance company can't get there soon. If you want to double check, we do limited inspections. Price is according to what we've got to do out there. It changes. It can be as little as $75 to come check what you've got and say, look, you really need to get someone here sooner, or you could wait a little time that's not going to cause any real damage to the house in the near future.
Yeah, you want to make sure that the property's fine, even though it appears to the general eye, the skilled home inspector, been doing it for over 20 plus years, right, Jay?
I've been in construction for over 30.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone's concern is their roof.
Right.
Our buddy here, Brad, will talk a little bit more about that. But even those guys are going to be real busy. So if you're concerned, not sure if you have damage, and you want to double check, and you don't have the ability to get on the roof, give us a call.
Yeah, A Snoop Inspection, best in the business. Now, also commercial assets. There's commercial assets that need to be inspected. You as well can help with that.
Yes, definitely. You got office buildings, you've got all kinds of things that are around that may have damage, and people are just getting back to them. They've been trying to worry about their home life until now, and now everyone's just now starting to go back to work. That a lot of us are back to work, but some still aren't because they're not sure.
Yeah, there's still a lot of uncertainty, and I think a lot of times that's the worst part of the whole storm. We got out ahead of the storm. We got left last Wednesday. You got out ahead of it. We're staying a couple days ahead of it, and you're online booking rooms, trying to make sure you have a place to stay that night, and so the uncertainty: is it going to hit? When's it going to hit? What's the impact going to be? That's a lot of times what's the challenge, or part of the challenge when you're dealing with a hurricane or a tropical storm.
Absolutely, and we've already talked about it. We were really lucky here. It could have been much worse than what we've had received. Yeah. That I'm thankful for what's going on.
Yeah. And, if you're in the construction process like we are, we're in the construction process. I'm just nervous about cost of materials going up, cost of labor cost is going to be at a high. What do you think about that, Jay?
It's going to back things up. Crews, unfortunately, subcontract crews, roofers, drywallers, everyone's going to be a little bit, behind the ball. Trying to get things done. So we'll slow some of the processes down. I was in a new construction yesterday. It was built a year ago, but it actually does have moisture damage in the living room around the windows. So evidently the storm was driving the right direction, and it actually has some damage that they got to take a look at. The rest of the house is in pretty good shape. No real exterior damage, but there's something going on, and the storm had to have driven part of that in there.
Yeah, so if you're a homeowner, maybe you have a building that you want to have inspected, Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection, you'd love to, have him out, have him take a look at it. Because if you do have damage, now would be the time to find it and report it, because you can, submit to FEMA for any reimbursements. Even we were talking about it, within our household, our trip, that was an unplanned trip. We were in evacuation zone A. We decided to get out of town. We didn't want to stay in Florida. We didn't want to risk it. Because you never do know where those things are going to ultimately end up hitting and what the overall effect is going to be. And I just felt better being out of town. I went up to Auburn, Alabama. So my point is that if you have Jay out there, he can do an inspection. He can find out, document the damage. Then you could submit that to FEMA, and FEMA will be able to reimburse you.
And that's the thing. Visibly on that structure right there, that living room, the only thing that you really saw was that the baseboard, you're molding right at the floor, had actually pulled just a little bit.
Right.
You didn't visibly see actual moisture damage or anything else, but there's moisture underneath one of the windows, and the window in the front of the house actually had moisture above and below.
Wow.
But by the naked eye, it doesn't look like anything really is going on.
Yeah, so that, even if it looks to your eye that it might be okay, we want you reaching out to Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection. You can hit us up on the hotline, 813-670-7372. Anything that you hear today, we'd love to hear your feedback, your comments, your concerns. 813-670 REQB. That's 7372. And also consumerqb.com, our newly redesigned website. Big shout out to Teo Leonard, the web design ninja of Tampa Bay. Consumerqb.com is going to be a plethora of information, blog site. We're going to put some information up there about the FEMA contacts. How do you contact FEMA? What's the processes there as well if you do want to get reimbursed? So Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let's go ahead and bring Brad Blanton into the conversation as well. Suncoast Roofing, project manager out there. Brad, I know you've helped us with several of our houses that we've had either under contract or that we've had as a listing. So what are you seeing, man?
I've been all over, our territory, which we're blessed to have a large territory to service the community in times like this, not only to assist with estimating and project managing, but also, mitigating that water coming into the home as soon as possible with tarps and things like that. I'm seeing roofs completely blown off. I'm seeing large commercial roofs laying in the parking lots. I'm seeing multiple shingles on the ground. I'm seeing broken tiles on the ground. But what I really see is a lot of homeowners that really just don't know what to do.
Right.
As a homeowner myself, and as we all are, the first thing that we do is call our insurance company because that's the only thing we know to do. And one thing that I keep trying to reiterate to multiple people now is, hey, you do have a friend in this business with Suncoast Roofing.
Yeah.
And we're going to assist you throughout the entire process in any possible way we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Mario, also, no mortgage loan transactions can close until the property has to be re-inspected. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Right now, we're having to have appraisers go back out and take pictures just to make sure. Like I had two closings that were supposed to happen today, and they can't happen. So appraisers are all backed up. I mean, it's slowing things down for us right now.
Yeah, it is. The inspection process, really anytime that storm comes up from the Caribbean and it's in the proverbial box, right? It's in that box, they call it. A lot of the lending companies, the lending institutions will cut off all closings. They'll make sure, hey, we don't want to close on this asset until we find out what's going to happen with the storm. So it's a function of the insurance not being able to be bound, I believe, is the process.
That's
right?
part of it. Yeah, insurance companies they have a hold also, but we, on top of it, from the lending side, we need to have the appraiser to go back out once the appraisal's already been done, just to make sure there was no damages.
Yeah. So when we come back, I want to talk about some of these lenders out there, talk about no fees. There's how do you do a loan if there's no fees, right? I mean, let's talk about that. Are they building it into the rate? What are they doing? I'm going to talk as well with Brad Blanton. We're going to talk more detail about some of the roofing inspections that you're going to want to do, some of the ways to get estimates, ways to look out and be careful about some of these unscrupulous contractors out there that may not be licensed, bonded, or insured. And also more from Jay Smith as well. We're going to kind of revisit with Jay, talking about, things that we can do to be proactive as well, preparing for the next storm. I mean, there's more storms out there coming off the coast of Africa, and there's other storms out there. So let's get prepared now. Let's be ready for it next time, and stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Giving a shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. So when we come back, more from our expert contributors. We also have the top 10 songs about storms and hurricanes. And so we're going to have some fun with you on that. And stay with us here. Don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation. Visit Pasco County, Florida.
Listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm your host. I'm also the owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. If you're if you're thinking about selling a property, we would love to talk to you right now. There's still a lack of inventory. It's a great time to sell. And we would love to share with you some of our innovative strategies and processes that we've utilized to grow our sphere of influence, to help our sellers profit, number one, profit more on the sale of your real estate. And also as a business, we're bringing business owners on to help you grow your sphere of influence. And we would love to talk to you about that. Hit us up on the website, consumerqb.com. Just submit the form at our website, consumerqb, like quarterback, .com. And if also for sellers, we'd love for you to see our website, platinummvprealty.net. Now, if you visit that website, platinummvprealty.net, you're going to see a string of videos that are going to explain how we are positioned as the expert, the number one listing company in Tampa Bay, listing agent in Tampa Bay, to help you profit more on the sale of your real estate. And we're giving a shout out to Signature Massage and Facial Spa in Tampa. Are you looking for a place to get a massage or a facial at an affordable price, but without having to sign up for membership? Look no further. At Signature Massage and Facial Spa, they offer a 1-hour Swedish massage for $49.95, always no contracts. Come in during the early bird hours and you'll receive an additional $10 off, and there you'll receive a professional massage at a great price. For those muscles and knots that need extra work, ask about getting a deep tissue or sports massage. And if skincare is what you're looking for, they have great facial and microderm packages available. Check out Signature Massage and Facial Spa, 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Give them a call at 813-925-8898, 925-8898, and let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a $10 off your first service over there at Signature Massage and Facial Spa. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. Let's go back to Brad Blanton here. So project manager, Suncoast Roofing. People, Ken, it's kind of similar to what Snoop was talking about here. If you think you may have roof damage, soffit, fascia, potentially a leak, it's better to get it checked out now before it turns into a bigger problem.
Absolutely, Brandon. You definitely want to address it as soon as possible. What a lot of people are seeing now is that their roof may be 3, 4, 5 years old, but with winds and rains that we've received, with Irma coming through, if a leak's going to pop up, it's going to pop up then, and you're going to see some things that you've probably never seen before. With the amount of water that can penetrate the home. Even if it's a little bit, now that it's in, it's not going to stop, and you definitely want to address it as soon as possible.
And you guys are also GAF Master Certified elite contractors, so let's talk about that. If you were to need a replaced roof, talk about the advantage you have there.
Well, choosing a roofing company is one of the hardest things you can do, because a roof makes up about 30% of your home and protects the other 70%.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that when you choose a roofing company, you're choosing a company that's not only going to have a warranty to protect your investment, but protect your investment in the home.
Yeah.
And being a master elite contractor with GAF is we are head and shoulders above multiple other roofing companies because only 2% of contractors nationwide have that distinction. That allows us to provide the Golden Pledge warranty, which is a lifetime warranty on the material with a 0 rate of proration and a 25-year no dollar limit workmanship warranty.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. So, and that's up to, what is it, a 40, 50 year term on that?
Well, the warranty on the material is lifetime with a 0 rate of proration until year 51.
0 rate of proration. Wow. So, yeah, people, if they're uncertain about the roof, the inspection needs to be done. Once you ascertain the damage, then you're going to be able to give them a quick estimate.
Well, what we're doing right now is really prioritizing folks in the community that we know just by almost talking to them that they have hurricane damage. When we get on site, the first thing we do is just let's go ahead and clarify right now, yes, you do have hurricane damage. Ask and find out if they've got an insurance claim pending. If not, let's get that moving forward. And then one thing that we offer that a lot of other roofing companies do not, since we do have public adjusters on staff,
right.
I can actually take care of everything from that point on, all the way until we provide you your warranty information and close out the permit.
Yep.
You don't have to do a thing. Now you will be apprised of everything that happens, and everything you'll be, your insurance company is going to contact you, but we'll take care of all that for you. That way you don't have to mess with the insurance company because most of the time, and I'm not trying to put insurance companies down, but they're in it to mitigate their losses and not necessarily yours.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that they're taking care of you as they should.
Yeah, that's right. Brad Blanton here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, talking about these re-inspections that need to be done, the roofing issues that may have come up from this Hurricane Irma that we've had here. So, Brad, so it's important also to note that they need to document this. So if they're going to try to get a claim at some point with FEMA or the insurance company, you're going to be able to give them written documentation of what the potential, for leak damage is, what, the ongoing damage potential. And it's going to, and what I like about it, it gives a nice time stamp. If the insurance companies drag their feet on, you've got a time stamp that says, hey, on, September 15th, we had Suncoast Roofing out here. And here we are months later, and the insurance company's dragging their feet. You got that timestamp, so basically for litigation purposes.
Absolutely, and it's great you bring that up because on the way here, I made a phone call to an attorney friend of mine that deals in an insurance litigation. And one thing that he brought to my attention that I really wasn't certain of was that an insurance company has 90 days to take care of any type of situation like that, or at
Right.
least to address it. If you get to the point where you're getting into December and nothing has been done, and you filed a claim now, it's time to start looking at, possible litigation to make sure, because you've paid your policy.
Right.
The insurance company needs to give you what you're due to make you whole again. And that's our goal here at Suncoast Roofing, is to try to make sure that our homeowners in our communities that we live in ourselves are made whole again, after the storm.
That's what I love about the show as well. What we've set up is we have, this consumer advocate approach to the show, and all of our companies are locally owned. They're small businesses. It's people that live, work, and play in our communities, especially, on the lending side. I see a lot of these companies, the big names. I don't have to say them, but if you read the paper, if you do your research, you see a lot of these big companies getting huge fines, in the millions. Every year they're getting fines, and it's almost like, why as a consumer would we want to support these huge companies, in the banking space, in the lending space, right? And when you think about, the overall effect of what that's doing to our communities, it's creating a corporate, more of a corporate umbrella almost, in general speaking. So I love the idea of supporting local, spend your money local here. And, Suncoast Roofing, you guys have local operations. You got Mary, the team, Chuck's running around all the way up to Jacksonville, I'm sure. And maybe talk a little bit about that.
Well, going back to your point about doing business locally, in times like this, you're going to run into a lot of different, what we like to call the fly-by-night companies,
right.
The storm chasers that are going to come. They're going to knock on your door and say, hey, I can get you a free roof. Well, that's very misleading because you're not going to get a free roof. You still have to pay your deductible through your insurance company. There's going to be money out of your pocket and things like that. Now, that person they're not from this community.
Right.
I could be at your house today inspecting your roof and tomorrow see you at the grocery store or see you at the gas station. It's not like that you're gonna sign a contract to install a new roof and then never hear from me again or never see me again.
Yep.
Because most likely I'm gonna run into you, locally in the community.
Yeah, and that's something that you take great pride in. So we've also heard from Chuck Peterson on the show as well. So more from Brad Blanton. We're going to bring Mario Larrea into the conversation, answer some of those mortgage questions as well about re-inspections, things happening, what's happening in the mortgage space, what if impact, if any, will this have on rates? We'll talk about some of the other construction side of things as well here coming up with Mario Larrea. Also more in our lightning round from Jay Smith, Snoop Dogg, owner of A Snoop Inspection, Brad Blanton, Suncoast Roofing, and more from our expert contributors. And we want to make sure you tune in to our show every Monday through Friday right here on AM 1380 The Biz, the Wall Street Business Network. We have a Sunday morning show as well, 7 a.m. on The Bone, and daily 10 a.m. on WeBeam TV. Stay with us.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here for Kimpton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites and balconies overlooking the Intercoastal Waterway. And check out the Castile Restaurant and Lounge as well. The Castile Restaurant has great food, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Go check them out. And also the Rooftop 360, beautiful views of the sunsets of the Gulf of Mexico from the Hotel Zamora, our official hotel partner. Now, make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 10 to 20% off of your room stay for your staycation over at Kimpton's, the Hotel Zamora, St. Pete Beach.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
And And Intelligent Talk Radio, got some intelligent folks here in studio with me. Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection, Brad Blanton, Suncoast Roofing, Mario Larrea, mortgage expert with Home First Lending. So Mario, local lender, local, let's talk about that local theme. I mean, I think at times like this, it's now more important than ever.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the branch that I have. I basically, it's like a franchise, so I own the branch. So, we're here locally, and just like Chuck was saying, I'll run into people that I've done their mortgages, done their refinances. So, real important to stay within the community, I think. But, you get a lot better level of service than, working with somebody out of state who, you're basically just another number. So,
right. Yeah. And that's the theme of the show is, supporting local companies, local, they're going to be the ones that are investing back in the local community here. In a lot of cases. And when you think about the lending industry in general, you look at some of these different companies, some of the marketing that they're doing. You hear even, on the radio, people talking about no lender fees, and it's very misleading. Talking about you're not going to have any fees. We're going to pay your cost. How do they do that? How can they?
I mean, you're paying for it one way or another. Right. So basically, they're either going to, increase your interest rate, which more than likely will cost you more throughout the life of the loan than the money that you're saving. So it's a real good idea to, check around, get somebody local that is going to shoot you straight. A lot of and I spoke about this, I think it was last time I was on, but you see a lot of kind of false advertising as far as like rates and fees and everything goes. I get it a lot of times. Why is my rate a little bit higher than what I've seen advertised? Well, if you read the fine print, it's like a perfect case scenario. You're looking at people with 50% equity, 800 credit scores, higher loan amounts. So not everything fits into, what you see there. Now, there are going to be some better case scenarios where obviously rates could improve, just like I was saying. But, if you're putting 3%, 3.5% down, 5% down, you're not going to see the same type of rates that you would if you were putting 50% down. So.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to put that best foot forward out there. They're going to act like this is going to be a great loan, low interest rate, lowest possible interest rate. Maybe even, can they advertise buy down points in there?
They can, and it'll be disclosed in the fine print, which people don't usually actually, look at it. It'll be disclosed as an APR. Right. So, you're typically not, most people just look for the huge rate that they see there, and then that's ultimately what they think they're, I'm going to call and I'm going to get this interest rate right there. It's not the case.
So this time, people are selling in from the storm. They might be getting power back on. There's a lot of things to consider if they are in the process of refinancing or looking to get a new loan. This is the time for re-inspections. What else would you say?
Well, especially for the purchase market, I think it's really important. As a refinance, you already own the home, so it is what it is. But, our purchases, and you're having to do re-inspections, appraisal re-inspections for refinances too. But for the purchases, we send an appraiser out to go and do basically just take pictures to see if everything looks okay. But they're not home inspectors. So it doesn't go in. It's not that in depth. It's not required to have an additional home inspection, but it's always a good idea. I mean, it's a huge asset that you're going into and you're acquiring. I mean, if it were me, I'd get the, just because you have to get the appraiser to go out there to snap some pictures, but I would be getting a home inspection as well, just to make sure that, just like Jay was saying earlier, I mean, what you were talking about with the moisture, an appraiser's not going to notice that.
Right.
Like something that's small. So now you don't know what you're getting into. It's already going to be delayed a little bit. There's, in the contracts, there's clauses for natural disasters. Why not take the extra day or something, have it checked out again? It's going to cost you a little bit more money up front. Probably going to save you a lot in the long run, though. Yeah,
it could. And that's the key, is just being safe, being on the safe side, of things. So let's talk. We always like to talk about some of the misconceptions, some of the misnomers out there. People think, by the way, if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Mario Larrea, mortgage expert and branch manager of Home First Lending here, local lender, local Tampa, contributing to local charities and local economy. People have a misconception. They think they have to put 20% down or 10% down for a loan. There are some really unique programs that have opened up recently.
Yeah, there are. there, and I've talked about this before. Normally, I mean, you're looking at 3.5% down programs. There's bond programs where they actually can pay the down payment for you, pay some of your closing costs. But actually, with Irma just going through there, we're rolling out. It's called a FHA 203H loan. So, if what it is if you were in your home got hit by the natural disaster and was, let's say, demolished or something, you can actually get in with 0% down. On an FHA loan. So even if you're in like an apartment complex or something, or you're renting a house that, is unlivable, as long as you can prove that address was damaged, you can go in 0% down.
Wow.
So it's a great program that's out there. It's only available during, natural disasters and stuff like that, but they have rolled it out here in Florida.
So FHA 203H, first I've heard of it. So interesting. So does it have to have a certain amount of damage? I mean, is it some monies that are going to have to be rolled into the loan? Is that basically how they're setting it up?
No, I mean, the thing is it's basically if you have to leave the residence.
Okay.
Like if you can't stay there, you're going to have to document it. You're going to have to prove that, like if you had a window break or something, you're not getting it. I mean, it's got to be something substantial where you literally can't live in there. But, it gives you a quick out to go and purchase a new property, or if you're renting, get in and purchase a property with 0% down.
So basically, I want some of those houses by the Alafaya that can't go back to.
Yeah. Like that. I mean, something like that, you can document it, you can prove it, you can get in with 0% down.
Yeah, that's who I want to talk to right now, as well as the renters out there. If you are renting, or if you're in a position where you have a goal, you set a goal, you said, hey, I want to buy a house, and you're maybe thinking about it the first time. This is a great time to really consider and really to just draw on your internal compass that says, hey, I want to be in a home ownership. I want to start building up my own legacy. I want to leave a legacy for my children. I want to build up my own wealth through accumulation of real estate. If you were to jump into a duplex, a triplex, a quad, buy a single family home, there's people that are making a ton of money doing Airbnb now. The Airbnb app where you can rent out rooms. I mean, if you're nervous about it and you say, oh well, I'm just nervous. I feel more comfortable renting. Just know that you're throwing money away paying a landlord. The rents are about 30% higher than you can actually buy a property for on an equivalent mortgage, paying the mortgage. And that's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance as well, all factored in based on the rents. So we want you to reach out. If you are a renter, if you're thinking about getting in the home buying experience and going through that process, even if it's 3 to 6 months out, let's just hear from you. Let's do a rent versus own analysis. Mario Larrea and his team over at Home First Lending will be able to complete basically a rent versus own analysis. It's going to break down the amount of money that you're throwing away to rent, paying your landlord's mortgage, building up his wallet, versus money that you could be building up your own equity into your own home and leaving a legacy for your family. 813-670-7372. Call or text, and if you text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying, we'll break it down for you in plain numbers on an Excel spreadsheet. We'll show you what you could be paying versus the rent. 813-670-7372. Call or text that line and text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying. 813-670-7372. And on the other side of that, you're going to see an email back from us. We're going to get your email address, and at that point we're going to let you know, hey, here's what you could look at, here's what the potential rates would be, and Mario is going to help you through that process.
Yeah, definitely. And right now it's a good time to buy too, right after the storm, because a lot of people are just kind of getting things back together. And as we discussed earlier, throughout the weeks and months, there's low inventory. So right now there's a lot of buyers that are not really looking as much as they were before. So it could give people an opportunity right now, to get in there and purchase while, other people are not paying attention to it. So,
yeah, absolutely. Low inventory. So then on the flip side, sometimes people say, well, if there's low inventory, am I going to be able to find something? That's the catch-22 that some people consider when they think about that. But if you're diligent in the process, if you're diligent, you have your pre-approval letter in place, and you're out looking for that next property, a lot of times you can put an offer in contingent on the other property selling.
Mm-hmm.
And if you price the property right, if you work with an agency, Platinum MVP Realty obviously is the one we'd love for you to consider. But if you sit down with us, and we're going to be able to kind of manage this for you, manage your expectations. Maybe you want to be closer to the beach, closer to work. Maybe you're moving out into the country. Just depending on where you want to be at, we can help you with that. So
yeah, definitely. And you did bring up a good point. In this market, it's really important to have a pre-approval letter handy. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you're serious about it, have one in hand, because if you go out, you look at properties, by the time you go back, get pre-approved, and then try to make an offer, the property could be gone. So
Right.
if you're doing it, make sure and be ready to pull the trigger as soon as you see something that you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think about mortgage lending, think about the process. You think about some of the bait and switch tactics that some unscrupulous lenders are going to have out there. We're going to cover your closing costs. We're going to, no lender fees here. Those types of things. Really think a layer deeper on that and get a quote. Get a quote from Mario Larrea, Home First Lending. We want you to reach out to him and our consumer advocates here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. And when we come back, more from our expert contributors. We're going to jump into our lightning round, and we also have a fun top 10 for you. The top 10 songs about storms and hurricanes coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
So back at you. Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. And Jay Smith in the house. Brad Blanton, Suncoast Roofing. And Mario Larrea as well, Home First Lending. Got a hot property in St. Pete I want to let you know about. It's 215 12th Avenue Northeast, St. Petersburg. $2 million property, or $1.2 million property here, 4 bedrooms, 5 bath. And it's an opportunity to choose the actual colors, countertops, cabinets, appliances, flooring. Once you're in escrow here, it's a pre-construction home. Beautiful buying opportunity here with the SIPS panel construction. Great buying opportunity in beautiful St. Petersburg Northeast, the old Northeast area. 215 12th Avenue North, St. Pete. Also got a $2 million property out east in Hillsborough County, 5421 Kelly Road, Plant City. This is a beautiful property out in East County, 5421 Kelly Road in Plant City. $1.9 million, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, over 8,100 square feet. Beautiful property, country living on 12.89 acres MOL. And it's a great buying opportunity. Too many upgrades to list here. But check us out, platinummvprealty.net or consumerqb.com. We'd love to hear from you. And let's go ahead and jump into our top 10. So we got our top 10 list here. So we're talking about storms and hurricanes a lot lately. So let's see where you guys, if you happen to know of any songs here that deal with storms and hurricanes.
I'm going to root for the guys that'll be here next month, and it's the Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Oh, man, that's a good one right there. You got it, Jay. So that one came to mind, too. I think about the Miami Hurricane games, going down to those football games down there. They would play that one a lot. All right, Brad.
I gotta go old school here, and some people are gonna laugh at this one, but I think I gotta go Bob Dylan, Hurricane.
Bob Dylan, Hurricane. By Hurricane. Yes, number 5 on the list. Bob Dylan, the ultimate songwriter who had a strong opinion about storms, politics, and peace.
It might not have been about a hurricane, but
that's a good one. Hey, those are 2 good songs right there. Mario?
November Rain.
November Rain. November Rain. That's the title. I don't see that one on here. November Rain, though. That made me think about Prince, Purple Rain.
Oh, yeah.
And Purple Rain's not on the list either. All right, back to you, Jay.
Rainstorms, man. I'm trying to think of any.
REO Speedwagon had one.
Oh, REO.
Supertramp. The Beatles had one.
Wow, what was the REO? I can't.
REO Speedwagon, number 1 on the list. Riding the storm out. Yeah. Yep, topping our list of stormy tunes. Nobody said it better than REO live version with this 70s arena anthem. And the wind outside is frightening.
Yeah.
All right, so we got those. So number 10. Come Sail Away by Styx. If all else fails, get on a boat, find an island, and get a fresh start.
Sail fast.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to look at the Doors. Riders on the Storm.
The Doors, Riders
on the Storm.
Riders on a Storm. I don't see that one on the list.
Wow.
That sounds like it should be here. What about Queen? You guys got number 9 here. Number 9. She's a beauty. That number 9. It says it's "Save Me" by Queen.
Okay.
From the Game LP. We've got "Cloud Busting" by Kate Bush.
I have no idea.
I haven't heard of that one. "Left in the Dark," written by Gene Steinman, sung by Meatloaf. 2 songs about the loss of lights. We wait in the dark for the storm to pass. All right, Power.
Well done.
Power Outage by Kansas. Hope you planned ahead with a generator or lots of batteries, it says. Number 4 is Help, the Beatles. We may need rescue, and if the rain does not stop, we will all escape in a yellow submarine.
Oh, my.
And at number 3 is It's Raining Again, Supertramp. It's a great song by the band who brought us Crisis, What Crisis, years earlier. All right, there's your top 10, the top 10 songs about storms and hurricanes here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning round.
Top tips, things to do, nuggets of advice. You're up first, Jay Smith.
Honestly, just call. We'll come out. We do limited inspections. If you're not sure whether you've got some damage, you can't get to it, you're not wanting to go on the roof, or you want to get a good look around, or questionable whether you think you might have some moisture in a particular room like we just found in the house yesterday. Let us come out, take a look. We've got moisture meters. We're going to check things out. Like I said, that wall showed nothing. I mean, if you just looked at it with your eye, you wouldn't think anything was really going on. The only thing it started to do is the base moldings were acting funny, starting to pull from the wall, and just further investigation found quite a bit of moisture.
So so you've got a device that will detect moisture in the walls?
Absolutely.
Very cool. What other tools you got in your toolkit there, Jay, that people might not know?
Well, I mean, this is the time you're already seeing it on the commercials as far as your hurricane force windows, your storm glass. They're things that you need to put on your remodel list. You want to consider it. We are in a prone area. We have gotten lucky once again.
Yep.
Will the next one not be so lucky? Could you be more protected if you're planning on staying in that house? Take a look at storm shutters, storm windows, better roofing systems. I mean, if you've got a 3-tab roof on your house and you're due for a new one, you're certainly going to look at a different kind of roof covering on that house, whether it is a heavier shingle or metal roofing or some other type of covering that just withstands the storms better than we currently have.
Yeah, there was a friend of the program I was talking to, actually, I think a listing client of mine. I was talking to somebody, they said their family, their dad stayed in their mobile home. They decided to ride a storm out, didn't go to a concrete building. They stayed in the mobile home. That's a recipe for disaster, isn't it?
I would not have done that.
You're just waiting to get lifted up and thrown to Kansas like Dorothy did.
Not at all.
Yeah. All right, top tips, things to do, things to avoid, nuggets of advice. Brad Blanton.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna agree with Jay real quick because he says, looking at your roofing system now, preparing for another storm. A lot of people are doing that now.
Yeah.
You do have a friend in the industry in Suncoast Roofing. You can give us a call and let us help you through that process to prepare for the next storm. If you do have that 3-tab shingle, those shingles only have a wind rating of 60 miles an hour.
Wow.
Let Suncoast Roofing install a roofing system on your home that are rated at 130 miles an hour to protect you from, any storms coming. Now, reactionary to the storms that we have now, if you've got leaks right now, call.
Yeah.
Call Suncoast Roofing. Let us come take a look at it because each day you wait could turn into a lead time of a month, if not longer.
Yeah.
Because that's the amount of people that are calling, requesting help, that we need to get to and take care of. So if you got a leak and you think you can wait, don't wait. If you've got storm damage, don't wait. Call now. Let us assist you through it because that lead time is going to exponentially get longer each and every day you wait.
Right. Absolutely. Reach out. Don't delay. 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. 670-REQB. Mario Larrea, top tips, nuggets of advice.
Again, I wanted to reiterate, right now is a great time while people are distracted from the recent storm. If you're looking to buy, if you're even thinking about it, call in, get pre-approved. This is a great time. Take advantage of it while you can. Because, the past year or so, it's been real tough for buyers out there to actually get contracts accepted. So, give me a call, get you pre-approved. We can do it over the phone within a few minutes. You can come into my office, whichever you would prefer. And, you can get out there and try to get something while other people aren't really are distracted from the recent storm coming through.
Yeah, I think it's important also to understand that at this time of loss, a lot of people have lost things. They're focused on, what they don't have. Turn your focus into where you're going. What is the priority for you? If you dwell on the past, you dwell on what you lost. I know it's hard. I know these are tough words, but it's out of these types of stresses, these things that happen, these areas in life that challenge you. That's where you're going to see your growth. And focusing on the problem is not going to be the solution. Focus on the solution. Think about being creative, being proactive. Again, is another key to our show. Every week we talk about being proactive, and that's something that you want to make sure that you're doing, and not to. Not to kind of press the bruise here, but, you got to get over it. You got to push through, gray everything out. If you have a goal that you want to reach, if you want to rebuild, you want to, whatever it might be for you, your business, your career, your life is, you want to gray everything out, have those beams on, just like the race horses where they put the blinders on each side and they just have their head down and they're focused on running the fastest race. And that's what you want to focus on. You want to use that metaphor in your life. And gray everything out. Where your focus goes, your energy is going to flow. So if you're focused on a goal and you're focused on achieving those goals, and all of a sudden you got people torping in your ear about something else or changing direction, you got to blind that out. You got to really just kind of focus on where you're going, what are the key attributes, what are your key strengths that you have, and that 80-20 rule comes into mind all the time. You want to think about the 80-20 rule. You want to think about the 20% of tasks that you will do on a daily basis that are going to contribute to 80% of your success. I want to thank all of our expert contributors today. Jay Smith, Snoop Dog in the house, A Snoop Inspection. I want to thank Brad Blanton as well. Tell Chuck and Mary as well hello. He's a project manager for Suncoast Roofing. And also Mario Larrea, mortgage expert, Home First Lending here. And we want you reaching out to our team. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as maybe packing up leftover food you may have, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, handing it to that person that you see in need. Now more than ever, let's be kind to one another. Be a force for good in the community. And also donating clothes, anything that you have extra. Anything that you haven't touched in 6 months to a year, that's a great time to get rid of it, donate it, sell it, donate the money from it, and we'd love to, help you with that as well. And so, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.